Now I admire Cassius Clay, I do. What I admire is, in his sport, there's an element of true combat.
First, before we get this shit crackin', this is no movie review. It's simply 10 players given our requested view on one particular scene in a movie. However, there's gonna be spoilers if anyone who hasn't seen this flick wants to. Just giving a heads up. Now, Quentin Tarantino releases this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood flick, which Lana J asks our thoughts on concern in a Bruce Lee scene in it. Lana's actually got a few Bruce Lee requests, and we've had several over the years, so we gon' get it in those in other videos, and we'll speak on why we wasn't allowed to post those in a pass. But we actually didn't see this particular flick till last night, Lana, which is ironic since we was trying to figure out what to see today before your question. So we only went to see it due to your request. Personally, we're not fascinated with Tarantino films. We like Django and been amused by a couple of others. But ultimately he just makes a bunch of over-the-top crap flicks we're willing to wait to see for free. In our opinion, they're usually crap. And we said our opinion. Always some fool gotta come up acting like we said they couldn't like some shit. Like what in a fuck you want? We got no issue with it. They're just usually crap in our personal opinions. And most we don't even want to see for free. However, we went to see this one just to see the Bruce Lee scene. Otherwise we never would have seen it. Truths, we would have walked out after that scene if we wouldn't known how crappy the rest of the flick was. As for that scene, shit was amusing. And we gotta admit, we chuckled.
You don't beat him, he kills you.
Ali wasn't killing no fucking body.
I just hate the fight ended the way it did with him cut like that. I hate to see blood and I don't like to see people hurt so bad.
So yeah, we had a laugh at a shit since some of it was so dumb. Ali spent most his time telling refs to stop fights, not killing people.
He kills you.
So the retarded shit we had a laugh at. However, we're gonna tell you, Lana, shit was also the ultimate disrespectful mockery, which we didn't find funny in Elise, which Tarantino probably felt he could get away with by claiming it was a comedy. However, people also often get their points across through comedy. Our problem with the scene is this: he's mixing factual people with fiction, along with taking portions of reality to merge with fantasy. And there's a lot of stupid human beings floating around. There's gonna be some who'll actually think that shit was a real event. Yes, there's people that stupid. And Tarantino knows it. Obviously Tarantino got hang-ups with Bruce Lee, so wants to tarnish the man's legacy. Or he's a total fucking idiot. Perhaps he's a bit of both. But bust this. The way the scene plays out. Bruce is on his set speaking on fighting, complimenting Ali, aka Cassius Clay, when he's asked who'd win in a fight between the two. Now Lee was known to have great respect for Ali in real life, which Tarantino purposely uses to mix reality with fiction, while showing Lee expressing his lack of respect for martial arts tournaments of that time.
Martial arts tournaments? They won't let you fight like that. It's very frustrating.
Basically calling it sissy shit. And even though his fictional Lee shows he respects Ali, claiming he's a real warrior engaging in real fighting unlike the martial arts tournaments back then, he makes him say he'd cripple Cassius Clay when asked who'd win in a fight between the two. Now we had a little confusion after the movie because I thought he said he'd make him quibble. Life and Sexy said cripple. Perhaps they're right. Nevertheless, the points he made, Lee claim he'd beat him. Now Brad Pitt, who plays a stuntman named Cliff Booth, who usually doubles for DiCaprio, who plays a character named Rick Dalton in a movie, chuckles at Lee's claim, in which Lee basically challenges him to it. Lee knocks him on his ass with a flying kick, which he brushes off, like, you know, nothing much. Then tells Lee to do it again, in which he slams Lee in a car, causing a massive dent. They then proceed to fight when Dalton gets the last blow to Lee's chest before the match is stopped, basically indicating Dalton was gonna kick Bruce Lee's ass. Now our problem with this flick's the fact that Tarantino got a issue with Bruce Lee, a man that's not alive and can't defend himself against the accusations, because Lee's known for having massive respect for Ali, and claiming he wouldn't beat him in a fight, even saying Ali would kill me. We have no record of Bruce Lee ever saying he would beat Ali. And if he ever said that in his brash days, he certainly didn't before leaving this world. His actual claims he wouldn't win that fight, whether he was just being humble, or meant it wholeheartedly. His claim was he wouldn't beat Ali. Yet Tarantino is claiming he did out of some kind of Bruce Lee hate obsession he got. As y'all know, it's not a first time the man's done Bruce Lee related shit. However, we got a problem with the man blatantly lying on a man that's no longer in this world, making him say the opposite of what he said out of some kind of personal hate, which he'll probably try and brush off for nothing more than having fun in it being comedy. Now, in Tarantino's defense, we'll say this: he's trying to portray his Dalton character as some bad boy tough guy. So perhaps he's saying he could stand up to Bruce Lee to make his character's toughness seem potent. However, why the blatant lie trying to cause intentional strife between Bruce and Ali fans? Because when we look at Tarantino, there's something twisted and freaky about that motherfucker. Like he got weird crap going on in his head. Nevertheless, the scene's criminal, which makes us wonder what the logic was behind it. Now, plenty people didn't like Bruce. And when people who didn't like Lee's friends with people who like them, often they implant perceptions in the minds of their friends concerning a man. And we're just wondering what friend or friends Tarantino has that didn't like Bruce Lee. The other things we hate people play in a race card. And one thing about racism, we like to make sure someone's a racist for a fact before making any claims. So he not gon' claim Tarantino is. We certainly know he shows respect for black people. Truths, he usually got 'em fucking up white people. However, something about this flick just seemed like some white guys trying to make a mockery of an Asian guy. And we're not saying that's what it is. We're simply trying to see the logic in that scene purposely designed to diminish Lee's legacy. And it's definitely on purpose, since Lee didn't even look like that during a Green Hornet. See, one thing about Lee, he was open about admiring boxers, especially black fighters. At the time, there was no UFC, and boxing was the one combat sport where blood was drawn and guys put guys out of commission, which Lee loved. Shit was real contact to Lee, not some pity-patting shit for points. However, Lee often expressed his dissatisfaction with white people. And not due to being racist, but due to experiencing racism. And he thought their fighting was stupid. That John Wayne was a joke. So perhaps Tarantino was always offended by it. So he wanted to make his modern-day John Wayne, aka Brad Pitt, beat Bruce Lee. So he used an on-screen lie of having Lee saying he could beat Ali as a rationalizing to do it. Motherfuckers love doing that crap. Making believe they defending Black Ali over some shit they lied about that never happened, when in reality they trying to get revenge for white John Wayne. Like, why put in a fictional made-up script Lee saying colored boxers aren't that white kickboxing asshole?
Cassius Clay, Sonny Liston, Joe Louis. The colored boxer, not that white kickboxing asshole.
CNN does that fake crap all the time. We already know he got a love for old school Hollywood and their actors. So he's probably mad Bruce said Ali was great in real life and ignored John Wayne. Perhaps he felt he was getting revenge. They's probably sitting round talking about how John Wayne woulda gave that Chinese Lee a good licking, claiming he woulda beat that Asian something good.
The colored boxer, not that white kickboxing asshole.
Oh yeah, he definitely trying to get some kind of white revenge. Seems mad Bruce Lee claimed blacks could fight. Nevertheless, Lana, the shit was some low blow lying crap. Personally, we wouldn't give a shit if he really thought it. Doesn't mean we'd agree. However, we talk the fight game and fighters should be confident. But why lie if he never said it? Or try and make the uneducated think he did? Because that man loved the ground Ali walked on. Literally thought he was the greatest. We've even had Kyle tell us stories about it long before this flick. So that scene's literally evil. Anna Truths Lee was the one constantly being challenged, which he usually tried to avoid. Not the other way around. That's our view on it. The flick sucked. And so that degrading evil scene. However, we'll be back later speaking on other Lee questions, along with boxing and other topics. Y'all know how we roll. And until then, peace. We're out.
When Cassius Clay meets Sonny Liston in the ring, that's not two athletes posture. That's combat. Two men trying to kill each other right now. If you don't beat him, he kills you.
I think every fighter should take it easy on a man if you see that you have a chance to seriously kill him or hurt him. But they don't praise me for this. They look and call me. They still say I should have knocked it back.